This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another episode of us getting caught up with Anna. And I know I'm behind by like a millennia at this point, but here's the deal. I have gone over Anna's competition in one of my public lives. So if you like watching that kind of stuff, you've probably already seen me go over this. And I wanted to put a video together, and I just didn't know what I wanted to say about Anna's competition, her first Strongwoman competition. Because as much, I do want to give Anna credit. Okay, look, let's start here. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's going to hit the thumbs up button. 'Cause I want to get that out of the way. Because look, I also want to say, I want to give Anna credit where credit is due. She took 4th place at the Riveter. It's her very first competition ever. I honestly thought she would do a lot, not as well as she did. All right, I have said this in every video that I have done. I didn't expect her to take anywhere near as well as she did. I thought she would take middle to low, maybe not last place, but somewhere in between middle and real close to the bottom, right? She did not. She took 4th, all right? So I want to give her credit for that, all right? Now, I also want to talk about physics. And I'm going to link Lindsay's video down in the description down below, because I was listening to Lindsay and I was like, yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about. This is how I meant to talk about this, because you guys know I don't do this stuff. So I don't do the lifting and stuff. So hearing Lindsay talk about it, Lindsay who does, and Lindsay who knows other people who are in the Strongwoman circuit, it's nice hearing her talk about it, because it kind of helped me put my thoughts into order. Now, we're going to go over each one of Anna's videos from the competition. And I'll also link down below the Glitter Life's video. They went to, well, they're in Texas for one. So they just went to the competition because they were there. And they took video not only of Anna, but of the competition in general. And that was kind of neat because we got to see other aspects of the competition. So that was nice to see. But I want to use Anna's own videos predominantly just because this is what Anna wants us to see, and this is how Anna wants to frame herself, right? And that's how I want us to do this, right? So I will be repeating some things that Lindsay has said, because Lindsay kind of informed me a little bit more about what Lindsay confirmed for me things that I thought were going on here, mostly how the competition was being judged for the most part. Because you will see, is this the first event? Yeah, this is the first event, which is the axle clean and press away. You will notice, because we're going to watch this clip. This is Anna's clip, by the way. I will read the little block of text here in a second. You will see that there's a woman off to the side here. Yep, you sure will. This woman right here, she will be raising and lifting her hand up and down. She is basically acting like a metronome. And Anna has to hold the weight in the air until the woman drops her hand. And then Anna is allowed to lower the weight and press back up again. I don't really know how this woman keeps track of time. I don't know if she's like counting, or if she's got, I don't know. Or if she's just like, I feel like you've held it in the air long enough. I'm sure there's something. I'm positive there's something there. Because I feel like there's points where it's like, I feel like she held her hand up longer than other points. But also, you will notice that the first couple times Anna does a press, because Anna will do 9 of these, but only because Anna didn't do them correctly, right? So there is some form involved in Strongwoman. So she has to do them a certain way in order for them to count. And one of the things that she has to do is she has to do them in time to the counter, this woman telling her up and down. Now, these two guys standing in the back, those are her spotters in case, she craps out and they don't want her to get hurt. So That's why these two dudes are standing off to the side looking like, you know, I think they're kind of fun. I just think they're kind of fun standing there. They're like, what? They're like bodyguards. Yeah, they're like really cool bodyguards standing in the background. They were there for everybody though, so I just think it's kind of fun. I have nothing else to say. I just thought it was kind of fun that there's these two guys just like chilling in the background. Yeah, this is what I do. I catch heavyweights. Anyway, I'm not making fun of them. I just like that they're there. Okay, so this is what Anna puts up here. We'll go over things as we come up against them. So, first event was, this is what Anna says. First event was axle clean and press away. My nerves really did some damage here. I wasn't centered in the bar. I jumped down. I jumped the down on 2 reps, and the power from my legs wasn't carrying into my arms. I was virtually strict pressing. I got 9 reps that counted, which honestly I'm happy with. This analysis might sound critical, but I went into this comp with the perspective of learning how to compete in a sport, which I have legit no experience in. This taught me I need to work on slowing down and feeling my body in the motion. If it feels off, it's probably better to reset than to jump, than to just keep muscling through. This is a better, or is this a metaphor for life? Probably. I thought she said, all right, I'm going to check something real fast. So hang on. Boop. I'm sorry. And I got 9 reps. She does more than 9 of them though, because not all of them count. So by the way, this is Synergy Elderberry Juniper. It's really good, but it does definitely have elderberry and juniper flavor, but it's good if you like kombucha. Kombucha. Never mind. Just trust me, it's good. Anyway. So I was wrong. She got 9 points here. Let's watch her go. You will notice that there are no go-go gadget arms. One other thing that I want to point out, you know, because I haven't talked enough yet. One other thing I want to point out here is that you will see that Anna does not have compression on her upper body right now. If you watch the video from the glitter files, you will see that when Anna arrives, she has both upper and lower compression. However, compression was not allowed at the competition. So, yes, ADHD timer. So Anna wasn't supposed to be wearing compression, at least upper body compression. But she does maintain her lower body compression throughout the competition. So, I don't know. So maybe it was only upper body compression that wasn't allowed. I don't know. So there's that. But she had to take her upper body compression off. You can interpret that how you want to interpret that. But she did definitely take the upper body compression off. What is weird about it, about the compression thing, is that Anna hasn't worn her upper body compression regularly for a long time at this point. Yeah, comparatively. Because she's been clear to not have to wear it habitually now. The lower compression, like, I don't think she's had to wear that habitually for a while. But she has been wearing it at the... Okay, up till recently, she has been wearing it at the gym for quite a while. And it's only recently that she's been noticeably not wearing it at the gym. And you can tell because the compression kind of works like Spanx. It keeps her nice and smooth. And you can tell when she doesn't have it on her legs because her legs are not nice and smooth. So there's that. You also get a nice flashing. I will warn you. If you watch the Glitter Files video at the end, you get a nice peekaboo surprise. Don't say I didn't warn you. Because her fucking compression is crotchless, and Anna apparently doesn't believe in underwear. To each their own, but maybe don't flash the public. Anyhow, we will actually look at that because there's something to be said about that. You'll see when we get there. Anyway, the point being, I don't know why Anna showed up wearing her compression. There doesn't seem to be any medical reason for her to be wearing it still. So there doesn't seem to be any reason for her to have had it on at the competition, especially since it wasn't allowed at the competition. So I don't know why she had it on, but she took it off before she started competing. So I guess no harm, no foul, but I still don't understand why she even showed up in it. All right. That being said, back to the actual thing. This is the Axel Clean and Press. I do have her at the beginning. I have this looped, by the way. Let me see if I can back it up. Yeah, okay. So this is the beginning of it. There's no sound. Yeah, there's no sound. So here we go. All right, so there she picks it up originally, practically grots herself with it. Okay. So I want you to watch. Keep an eye. Now I know this lady's like completely off the side and she's really hard to see. But keep an eye on her hand. Anna needs to be watching this woman's hand. Now, Anna has nerves. I get it. Anna has ADHD. I get it. So I think those are contributing factors. These are the only excuses I'm going to give her. She needs to keep an eye on this woman's hand. I'm going to move the mouse so you can actually, so this will actually clear up because I don't know why it darkens up. It's fucking stupid, but thank you. But this, keep an eye on this woman's hand because when Anna first starts to, she gets the bar up and she first starts to do the press ups. She doesn't pay attention to this woman's hand, and this woman tries to get Anna's attention because Anna starts pressing without following the woman's hand. So that's something to keep an eye on, but it happens pretty fast. So you need to keep an eye on it. Let's watch that from the start again. So just keep an eye over here because that's pretty much all you can see of this woman and her hand. She does lean forward a little bit more after it's obvious that Anna's not really paying attention. And Anna does start paying attention after that, but it's an oopsie and it costs her. Okay. Anna picks it up, almost drops it, gets it up, and she just starts pressing. And then you see the woman lean forward and Anna's not looking at her. So she's not really following this woman. She starts doing it now. But see, that woman like hesitated there a little bit. We don't get to see all 9 presses, obviously. So Anna says, I got 9 reps that counted, meaning you saw the ones that she did that didn't count, the ones right at the beginning there. She says, I'm happy with that. She also says down here, this analysis might sound critical, but I went into this comp with the perspective of learning how to compete in a sport. I'll give her that learning to compete is a skill, right? That's not a skill everybody has. Anna mentioned before she went into this that she didn't like that the noise around her, even the cheering, the sound was distracting, and it can cause you to panic even if it's cheering for you. It's still noise that you're not prepared for. So I'll give her that. Where was I going with this? But the whole like not being critical of herself. It's okay, especially after the fact, to be critical of your performance, especially at something like a sport, like a competition sport like this, because like, how else are you going to get better, right? You need to look at, especially if you've recorded yourself competing, which I think is a great tool. You need to look at yourself and be like, oh, okay, here's where I effed up. You know, what can I do to not do that next time? Kind of a thing. Like if you never go back and look at even artists and stuff sometimes to the point of their detriment, but you always want to look back at things that you have done if you want to improve. If you already think you're perfect, you're never going to improve because you're never going to look back at what you've done and think of ways to improve. So Anna's sitting here and being like, I know this sounds critical. Well, it is critical and you should be critical, and not because you suck. I mean, you fucked up. I'm assuming a lot of the women here fucked up because there's people who did worse than you. So my guess is a few of them fucked up. But that being said, you know what happened. You can see it on the video. So you know where it happened and you know what not to do next time. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But this is part of Anna's weird perfectionism that she has. I know people are like, she's not a perfectionist. She is. But she's one of those perfectionists that are like, what is it? petrifying. Yeah, there's a type of perfectionist that like basically they're so concerned about being perfect or doing something perfectly that they never do the thing at all, right? So like they're so concerned about it being perfect in general that they just never start. They're like it's perfect or it's nothing. Anna's one of those people. So anyway, which is why she never finishes shit. You didn't hear that from me. So yeah, so that was the Axel clean and press. I don't know how much she was lifting. We'll go look at the website. It does say how much she had to lift because she's in the 165 plus category, and there were like 13 other women, but only 12 of them did all four. Actually, no. Not all 12, not all 13 of them did all four categories. One woman only did one category and she didn't do anything else. And there were like, I think 3 other women that only did 3 of the 4 categories. It looked like they like showed up late or something because they didn't do this category. So a handful of the women didn't do all of the categories, but they also ranked really low. So, you know, anyway, my point being, not all of the women in her category completed the competition, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So it's not fair to say that there were 13 people that she was competing against, because really she wasn't, because like 5 of the 13 didn't even fully compete, is kind of where I'm going with that. Anyway, it matters to me. I don't know if it matters to anyone else. I don't know if it matters to anyone else. She still took 4th. It doesn't matter. All right. That's enough rambling there. This one, I would say, one of the major complaints, and we'll talk about this more in the next competition. Yeah, the max deadlift. One of the biggest complaints that people have had, and I too have this complaint, is that Anna outweighs the women in her category by 2 to 3 times their weight. Her category is 165 or 168 plus. I'll double check. Anna is easily 2 to 3 times that, at least twice that weight, if not 3 times that weight. I wager 3 times, close to 3 times that. We won't know, because when Anna stood on the scale to get weighed, the scale couldn't weigh her. It literally said error. It doesn't matter. All she had to do was weigh more than 165, and she does. That puts her well outside of the 165 weight category. It kind of in a weird way, gives her an advantage in the competition. Now, she didn't win, and I think okay, in a different situation, if Anna had trained harder, if Anna was more comfortable competing, if Anna really was the go-getter that she claims that she is, Anna could have used her weight difference to her advantage, and she probably could have dominated this competition. She didn't. So, you know, this is sort of a moot point, but it's not at the same time. But also, Anna was like the only competitor even close to her weight class. So what was the competition supposed to do? Create a weight class just for her, and she would compete just by herself, and she would have won her weight class because she's literally the only person in it. It's an empty victory, you know, kind of a thing. I think the fact that she outweighs all of the other women at this competition, and she still came in 4th, really does say quite a bit. So, but I do still want to acknowledge the fact that, you know, to a degree, mass moves mass. And having said that, I want to move on to the max deadlift. All right, this one gets a little weird video-wise because whoever is filming it for her clearly is sitting in the back seats, and Anna comes up to lift, and they run out to try to get a better angle of her lifting. So it's just a little wonky. They do get a good view of her doing the lift. It's just it's a little shaky leading up to that. Now, Anna is one of two women that do a max deadlift of 375. The other woman who does the max lift is the woman who dominated the entire division, her whole division. So she took first place across the entire thing. I believe the woman's name was Stephanie. Let me double check. Yeah, Stephanie. I'm not going to use the woman's full name. It's all public record. So it's not like it's, if you want to go look at it, you can't. I'm just going to call her Stephanie. But she did take first place in like every category, I believe. So, yeah. She woke up that morning and was like, I'm gonna go win me a competition. And she did. So there was that. But her and Anna were the only two that lifted at 375. And I think the next highest weight, I'm looking at the results here. I think the next highest weight down was 335. I'm just double checking. Yeah. So, I mean, that's quite a jump. Lindsay was saying that at competitions like these, the weight jump is 20 pounds. So, and you get 3 tries. So a lot of women will start at a lower weight so that they can effectively warm up. And so they don't like injure themselves right off the bat. It makes sense. It's a strategy thing. It makes sense when you think about it. So when you see Anna lifting here, we can assume that's like her third and final lift and that she has worked her way up. Now I'm assuming, do not get points until their final lift. So, you know, this 375 was her final lift. I will say a couple things. Anna, when she does this lift, it doesn't really look like she's struggling all that much. So it looks like she could have lifted more if she wanted to. She looks fairly comfortable doing the lift, all things considered. It's still 375 pounds. It's like twice my weight. Literally, she's lifting 2 of me. Still crazy talk. Now, here's where, again, you know, mentioning that, here's where the weight thing comes into question and where a lot of people are like, Stephanie, I don't think there's any, okay, I haven't dug to find video of Stephanie doing her final lift of 375, but I'm wagering that Stephanie is closer to 165 than she is to Anna's weight, right? So when Stephanie lifts 375, Stephanie is lifting closer to twice her body weight, right? Anna, when she's lifting 375, is lifting like not even half, or something like maybe half her body weight. Like, she hasn't even lifted her actual body weight, let alone more than her body weight. Kind of a thing, like, is where people are going with this. So when you see the women in not only Anna's division, but there's many other divisions here, right? There's several other weight divisions, and I think not only weight divisions, but like what do you call it? Whatever divisions. There's novice and open and masters. And there's one little girl in the teens. You go, chickie. She did pretty well, I think. I mean, for a teen, she did, I don't know. And what is teen? What's teen mean? Are we talking all the way from 13 to 18? Because if this is a 13-year-old girl, you go. But anyway, my point being, there were a lot of divisions, so there's that. And why wasn't Anna in open where there's like the 242? Anyhow, I have questions, but there are no answers. There's never answers. So the point is that when Stephanie does her 135 or her 175, she's lifting probably twice her body weight. Anna's not even lifting half her body weight. give or take. I'm not good at math, but the point being, it's not the same. And when the women in all of the other divisions are lifting heavyweight, they're lifting more than their actual body weight, right? Because they're probably closer to the max limit of these light lifts. Like, for example, the other novice category was the lightweights, which were the 165 and under. So they were people who were also novices, but weighed less, obviously, than 165. And so the woman who took first in that category, well, actually, no, the woman who lifted the heaviest, I don't know how much she weighed altogether, because they just had to weigh less than 165, but she lifted 295. So she weighs less than 165, but she's lifting 295. I mean, I don't know. I'm bad at math. I don't know what percentage of what that is, but that's more. That's probably close to twice her body weight, if not more. Anna's not even lifting her own body weight. So it seems unfair, right? Now, that being said, I can't lift 375. I can't deadlift it. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, meh, meh. Okay? I'm not going to sit here and be like that. Well, it's only 375. It's also Anna's PR. Anna hit her PR. That was Anna's PR, because we watched her do, I forget what it was, but the one where she gives out that ungodly shriek and then looks around to see if the guys behind her noticed and were impressed. Boys, you want to have sex with me, Anna, boys? God bless lot lifts. But that she had been trying to get up to 370 something and couldn't make it. So this was her PR. Cool beans, right? So she still had to work up to this, right? But it's not honestly that impressive compared to the other competitors, right? Because her weight is so much higher than the rest of the competitors. And it's my understanding that the way that they score this is they take your weight and they do some kind of mathematical equation of your actual physical weight versus how much weight you do whatever task with. So your weight versus how much you deadlifted, right? And in this situation, Anna is getting the benefit of all she had to do was be more than 165. Obviously, she is. And so she got scored like everyone else in the category with the benefit of being more than 165. And that was it. So that's why her points for the deadlift, the max deadlift, are the same as the woman who took first place. They both got 13.5 points. I believe, if they had actually been able to get an accurate weight for Anna, if they had done the mathematical equation where they took Anna's actual body weight and the 375 and did that little whatever, I don't think she would have gotten that 13.5 score, because, as I keep saying, she didn't even lift, half her body weight, or maybe just slightly more than half her body weight, right? Compared to Stephanie, who I'm willing to wager lifted close to twice her own body weight, right? Because I'm willing to wager Stephanie probably isn't 300 pounds. Again, I haven't dug to find out, but Anna is easily the largest person there. Now, I could be wrong. Stephanie could be 300 pounds. Like I said, I haven't hunted down what Stephanie looks like. Maybe I should, but I'm just wagering. I'm putting that wager out there. I'm willing to take that bet. But that is something that a lot of people have brought up, a lot of people have had issue with. And as I said, what were they going to do? Create their own class just for Anna? And then you have the situation where, you know, with the teen class, don't get me wrong, that they had one person in the teen class and yay, you win. When you're a teen, cool. You showed up, you competed, you know, that's what you're doing as a teen. You know, you're learning how to do this so that you can kick ass as you get older, right? Anna's 40, she's 41, she's going to be 42 in October, right? She's not a teenager. They're going to, if they created if they created a class just for her, it's an empty victory. It doesn't mean anything. She's just competing with herself, which is cool. I know a lot of people that's the goal, but what's the point? Right? But also putting her in a weight class like this where she outweighs literally everyone, it's really not fair to everyone else either. But that being said, she still didn't win. She still came in 4th. That says a lot in my opinion, but y'all can have your own opinions about that. All right, so that was the deadlift. Let's go look at the other things now. All right, this was the 3rd event. This is the steeplechase. There are a few things you need to know about this video before we get into it. There are 2 women running at the same time. There is Anna and this itty bitty woman. And as you will see, Anna's mostly keeping up with this tiny little woman. Dude, get out of the way. Nobody wants to see your ass. Move. Here we go. That's who we want to see. This woman is. I also love that this woman showed up. Like, she understood the assignment to show up as Rosie the Riveter. I don't know how many people were not catching on that this was Rosie the Riveter. Like, Anna didn't catch on to that. But here we are. A lot of the women here had Rosie the Riveter-esque pieces to their costumes. Their costume is very, very loosely there. Like, they had the bandanas in their hair, or they had pieces that you were like, you understood this was Rosie the Riveter. Anyway, that being said, they had very rockabilly styles to themselves. You're also competing, so you're not going to go all out. That being said, all right. Also, this girl is just killing it. Right. So at first glance, you're like, wow, Anna's really keeping up with this girl. Okay, this girl is actually in a different class, a different weight class than Anna. They're running 2 different categories at the same time. I don't know why it's slowing down, but it is. So you're not seeing Anna competing with someone else from her category. It's her and somebody else, right? That's actually an important detail to know. I don't know what class the other woman is in. I don't know what her weight class is. I'm sorry, I don't. Glitter Files might know. Again, she was present at the time, and she also has video of this steeplechase. This dude's a little pirouette, though. Woo! He was really into this. Now, this is the category I honestly thought Anna was going to do the worst at, just because when we saw her whenever Anna would share video of herself training for this, she sucked. And she even said that this, you know, she heavily alluded to this being the worst of her categories. So there you go. I honestly thought that this would be the worst category for her. She says here, the steeplechase was the 3rd event, and considering I couldn't even consistently, there we go, pick up the bag 2 months ago, I am so proud of completing this one. I learned that I need to eat more before this event. Okay. Because I definitely lost steam. That you don't need to eat more. Anyway. I also learned that some events aren't ever going to be your best, and that's okay. I'm super proud I was able to finish in the middle of the pack, even without the mobility to go under the bar. I'm going to work on stamina and improving my VO2 to hopefully just get faster and make up for it. All right, first off, you don't need to eat more. You just need to increase your stamina. And you don't need to eat more to do that. You're on the right track with the increasing the stamina. You don't need to eat more to do that. You don't need to eat more. That is not your problem. So there's that. The little lessons she takes away from shit just boggles my mind. Anna's mobility is something we're going to talk about a little bit more at the end of the video as well, when I show you the horrific video that you're all going to watch because I had to watch it. But the point is, Anna's mobility is probably one of her biggest life challenges, and frankly, it's not getting better. So you would think with this it would be, but there's a video that she did, or a story that she shared, I guess. I really shouldn't say video, but there's a story that she shared. I'm not going to go dig it out, but it's just a little video of her going under the training, what do you call these? I just had the damn word. Anyway, the training doodad at the gym that she was training at, because she was like, why I'm not going to go under the hurdle. There we go, word. Under the hurdle.
Yeah, I'm not going under. I can't get out. Ah!
As you can see, the girl in white keeps doing. The woman in white. I'm really trying not to do that. I find that's a habit that I've picked up, and I'm trying not to do that anymore. And because it is faster. You can see that Anna's losing a lot. Well, she's losing a lot of time in general, but she's losing more time because she has to stop and go around and then get back in line to grab up her stone, her bag, to get it over the hurdle again. And so she's losing time, where the the woman in white, just scoots under and chucks her stone back over. So anyway, Anna puts this little story out a while ago, why I won't be going under the hurdle, and she can't bend her knees is the problem. As you can see when she's trying to pick the stones up, she can't bend her knees. And because she can't bend her knees, she can't hunch over enough to get under the hurdle. There's no way in hell she could do what the woman in white is doing, where she's just kind of grabbing hold of the hurdle and swinging herself under it. There's no way in hell Anna could do that. And if she did manage to swing herself under it like that, she wouldn't be able to get up off the floor. So there's no way in hell Anna could do that. She doesn't have that kind of mobility. One of the reasons that Anna had all of the liposuction done last year before last, was, according to her, because she was losing mobility.
I am afraid that a lot of the work I've done on my mobility and the way my body works to kind of help counter my hyperextension may be gone. I have a feeling it's gone because I'm starting to have pain in my ankle again, and I haven't had pain in my ankle since I did that, and I just I have to do this assessment in like a couple days, and I am like terrified she's gonna tell me that I'm locking my legs again, because I worked so freaking hard to not do that. I'm not willing to accept a life where I have a loss of mobility, where I can't run, where I can't have adventures, where I can't hike, where I can't swim, where I can't just live the way I want to live. That's what this whole journey has been about up until this point. If you've been following my health journey, was getting back to the things I love and enjoy. I've had a taste of that over the last 2 years, and I am definitely not willing to give it up. So while it was emotionally very difficult to have to see the actual flaws in my body and what it's capable of right in front of me with a mirror that I could not look away from, it was ultimately super important because it helped me be so confident going into that surgery that this was my only option.
This is after her running saga. And so Anna had the liposuction done to remove her lipedema because the lipedema was robbing her of her mobility. And to be perfectly frank with you, I have not noticed any improvement in said mobility since the lipedema removal surgery, the liposuction. And in my opinion, I think her mobility has gotten worse, and that's including with this training, because her squats are shit. and her squats have always been shit, and they haven't gotten better. If anything, they're kind of getting slightly worse with weight. I don't know. I personally feel like, this is my personal opinion, I can be wrong, that training the way that she has been training with weight and doing more squats that she says she's been doing, I feel like her mobility, at least in her knees and her hips, should have improved somewhat, just out of the repetition of the movement alone. But as you can clearly see, it hasn't. She can barely bend her knees, and one of her legs is worse than the other, as we will see at the end of the video here, closer to the end. But anyway, what else do I want to say about this video? I think that's all I wanted to say about this one. I don't really know what it says in general that Anna was kind of sort of keeping time with the woman, and kind of sort of keeping time with the woman in white, even though they're both in completely different categories. At first I thought they were in the same weight category, and I was like, oh, Anna's actually doing really well. She's keeping up. She's actually keeping time with this woman pretty well. I don't know what it means that they're in different categories. She's still kind of keeping up with her pretty much, but you can really see that Anna's stamina just like, she's done at this point. You know, she makes it around that second hurdle and she's just like, pfft. And by the time she gets here to the end, she's just like, she can't even lift the bag really. And she still has to carry it over the finish line. Like, that's not the finish line. You see the woman in white get to the finish line. She's like, yeah, done. And Anna's like, oh, fuck, I can't even lift it. So there you go. Oddly enough, you don't see anybody like greet her at the finish line either. The woman in white, like, she crosses her finish line and she's got her hands up in the air. And I mean, there's not like there's like a huge crowd waiting for her, but there's a couple people waiting for her to give her like a high five. Anna's video cuts, so you don't even see anybody waiting for her. And I know there's people there, but is like the only person waiting for her the person filming? It's sad if it is. And I'm sorry to say that, but it is kind of sad. Anyway, next video. Boop. All right, this last one's a little blurry. I've gotten all of these off of the Reddit that must not be named, so I apologize for the blurriness. There's nothing I can do about it. This one says, the last event was sandbag throws. She had 4 sandbags of increasing weight. The first 2, I think, were the same weight, and then each one went up by 5 pounds? 5 or 10 pounds, each one. She says, the last event was sandbag throws. I learned that I need to practice with distractions and in different environments. What's easy to do in the gym gets hard with lots of things going on around you. This is something I could not have learned without competing. I'm so excited to work on this because this could be my event if I can figure out how to focus and drown out the noise. This goes back to, you know, what I was saying with the whole, even if it's people cheering for you, it's still distracting to have the noise around you, and, you know, the whole learning to compete aspect of competing. So yeah, I can get that. There's a video. Is she doing, I think she's practicing the steeplechase. There was a video we watched a couple videos back now, a story video of her. Yeah, I think she's doing the steeplechase because she's picking the bag up, and there's a woman friend of hers, and she's like, go, grab, go, get going. And Anna's like, I hate it, while she's carrying the bag away. And I think the caption was something like, I don't like when my friends are yelling at me, but I know I need to get used to it, or something like that. And she's not wrong. Because these people, they're not just cheering for Anna. They're cheering because there's another one of these happening. There's 2 of these events, these bag tosses happening at the same time. So there's Anna and another woman over here somewhere else. So these people aren't just cheering for Anna. They're cheering for their other friend as well, right? They're cheering for the other woman as well. So what are you going to do? Shh. It's not golf or tennis. How do they get people to be so quiet at tennis? Anyway, the point is, it's not one of those type of games. This is loud. This is rowdy. People are cheering you on. They're trying to be helpful. Like they're supporting you. They're your friends. They're rooting for you. they can't come throw the bag for you. So anyway, I was actually thinking this would be a better event for her than it turned out to be. I will say this though, before we watch it, because I was actually surprised at how not great she did. She did do it, don't get me wrong. But just given the videos that she shared with her doing this exercise, she seemed to do so well. Watching her do this at the competition, I was just kind of like, wow, all right. But at the competition, I'll share this with you guys later because I know you can't see the score thing. So there were, as I said, there were 4 bags, and Anna is one of 4 women who threw all 4 bags in the allowed amount of time. So the 4-bag toss and the brutal beatdown both had timers. They both had timers, which is why you'll see people scrambling, right? They were doing it because they needed to beat a timer, and Anna beat the timer in both, but just barely in the 4-bag toss. I don't remember what it was, but we'll go back and look. She well beat the brutal bag toss down because they had 75 seconds and she did it in 48. Yeah, so she was well within her time on that one. So the 4-bag toss, she got all 4 bags in 44.44 seconds, which it's an easy number to remember. But like I said, she was only one of 4 women, the other one of them being the woman who won the whole competition. So, but she was only one of 4 that got all 4 bags. There were a bunch that got 3, a bunch that got 2, and that was pretty much it. They either got 3 or they got 2. Yeah. That's not throwing shade at anybody. It's just putting Anna's score in perspective. Now, that being said, of the 4 women that got all 4 bags, you know, I just said that Anna got 4 minutes and 44 seconds and 44 milliseconds. Miniseconds. The next score below her was 38 seconds and 34 milliseconds. And then the 3rd woman got 30 seconds and 10 milliseconds. And then Stephanie, the woman who won, got 22 seconds and 6 milliseconds. She was killing it. she was going balls to the wall. She was just like, I got this. Give him to me. I was told, I wasn't there, but I think it was Glitter Files told me that at one point, I don't know which woman, but apparently one of the women tossed one of her bags, and this just had to hurt. Apparently her bag got stuck in this space here between the bar and the board, and it got stuck there, and it just sat there for a minute, and I'm just like, oh, that had to suck, because it only counts once it hits the ground. She can't go and grab the next bag, and I'm just like, oh no, I hope she didn't get penalized too badly for that. Oh, that had to hurt, because you turn around and you're just like, fall already. Fall one way or the other. I gotta either throw you again or you're on the other side. So that had to suck for whoever that was, and I feel bad for them, but yeah. All right, so let's watch Anna toss these bags. Let me back it up. Right, so this is Anna doing the toss. Did I already read these? Yeah, I already read this. Right, so let's go. And she lines it up and she launches it, and the first one goes really, no it doesn't, never mind. I thought the first one went really well. And then, okay, that one was really good. Okay, and then these 2 people, where are they? Okay, that one goes really badly. These 2 people, hang on. Look. This man and this woman come off from the side to grab these 2 sandbags. Anna is still actively throwing sandbags. Have you never been on like an archery range or at a fucking cross field or track and field? You don't go into the like active zone where the heavy objects are being lobbed, especially behind her. She can't see you. What are you thinking? She's gonna lob this next stone and she's gonna hit one of you. Like, get out of the firing zone, you idiots. I'm sorry. I just saw the two of them. I know they think they're fast. I know they think they can grab them and drag them off quickly. That's how injuries happen. You think you're clever. You think you're smart. And the next thing you know is you have an arrow in your ear. It's just like, don't do this. Wait till she's done with all 4 of these bags. It's not going to take that long. Christ. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about these 2 people. They have nothing to do with Anna throwing sandbags. But here's the other thing. They could have, all right? The other end of that, I'm not defending Anna. I'm defending anybody else that they pulled this shit on. What if Anna did know they were there and she didn't want to hit them? And because she knew they were there, she hesitated throwing these bags because she was waiting for them to get out of the way. That would have cost her time, right? So think about it that way too. Yeah, put my rant about safety aside. Anna might have seen them, any of the women might have seen these 2 people doing this and thought, oh, I might hit them if I throw this bag right now. I'll wait. But they're being timed. So by waiting for these 2 idiots to get out of the way, that woman now just added time to her score because she's waiting for them to get out of the way so she can throw her next bag. So maybe don't do that. Maybe wait until the woman has finished, Anna, the woman, whoever, finishes throwing all 4 bags and then go clear the field. You can't be that low on bags. I just feel like I really needed to say that because it really bothered me. It really bothered me, as you can tell. Anyway, onward. Clearly Anna didn't pause. That dude would have gotten nailed by that, okay? Anyway. Here's the last bag. And you can tell she's getting tired by the time she rolls that one out. And she makes it. All right. I honestly, after my rant, I kind of expected her to do a lot better on this one. Not time-wise, I just kind of, well, I didn't really know. I kind of expected her to clear all 4 of them with her first swing, to be honest with you. Just because, like, she would show us her practicing this. With the exception of the one time that she threw it all the way up in the air and then stood there and waited for it to come back down on her head. She cleared these every time, almost, I think. Maybe there was one when she didn't. My point being, I expected her to do better at this, but it's not like she did. Well, she does have the longest time period, but it's not like she didn't complete it. You know, she got all 4 bags in the amount of time that she was supposed to get them in. So, did she get the... I'm looking at the scores. Hang on. So she got first, obviously. I'm just making sure before I say something. Yeah, so I mean, she got the 4th highest score. Yeah. So I mean, she still did well. I do think this is, again, another category, though, where she probably where her weight was working in her favor, though. Like, her overall body mass was actually working in her favor because it's like it's a pivot kind of a thing. And so she could use her overall mass to get that thing, to get the bag going faster. So, oh, and that was the other thing I wanted to mention about the steeplechase. Sorry. The woman who was running next to her in the steeplechase had a lighter bag, but even though the bag was lighter, this again goes back to Anna's mass. Anna's bag was heavier, but was still not the same percentage weight-wise to her mass as the woman in the lane next to her, right? So the woman in the lane next to her, then the white shirt, was in a different category, and her bag was lighter, But compared to her weight, her overall body mass, the bag was higher in percentage to her body mass compared to Anna and the bag that Anna was carrying. I think Anna's bag was 125 pounds, and you know, Anna weighs much more than that. These bags are all standard measurements, and I'll go over them again because they're on the website. But again, Anna's whatever weight Anna is still a mystery. We will never know. Thanks, scale. Our one and only chance. Damn you, scale. Anyway, the point is, I feel like this is another one of the categories where her mass actually worked in her favor and gave her an advantage over the other competitors. That's all I really have to say about that one. Overall, if you just kind of look at Anna's overall performance, I think she did well if you don't compare her to anyone else. If you do take into consideration who she is, her mass and the weight that she was performing with, it's not as impressive. But I don't want to take away that she did the damn thing. And she still took fourth. I didn't go. I didn't do this. I didn't train for 9 months, give or take? Anna did it, okay? And unlike the other girls, Anna actually does shit. So I'll give her that, okay? It will be even more impressive if Anna drops weight, or if Anna starts competing in weight categories that are more appropriate for her, like if there's a 200 or a 300 plus category, at least she's getting closer to people who are in the same weight category as she is, because she's a dainty queen. But the point is she should compete with women who are more in her mass class. And she knows how much she weighs. So she knows where she should be, right? And there's got to be other strong women out there. I imagine the number of strong women who are her size is a very small group. And I don't just mean fat-wise. I mean, muscle weighs a lot. So there's got to be other strong women out there who have muscle mass that is comparable to her fat mass. I don't know how else to put that. I'm sorry. So there has to be women out there that she could compete against, but there's probably not a lot of them. And the chances of all of them being in one place at one time is probably pretty slim, especially at a novice competition like this. This is a very regional specific novice competition. It happens once a year. So, Now, all of that being said, today is Thursday, the 9th of April. I know Anna is supposed to be competing on the 11th, which is Saturday. So, and it's got, apparently going off of the videos that she's putting up, it's got different categories, different things for her to do. So I don't know a whole lot about it. I haven't looked it up. And I don't know, I guess I'm just going to be surprised. I'm just going to let myself be surprised by it. So yeah, I hope she does well. It looks like there's going to be new things for her to compete at. So maybe she'll find some other things that she's good at doing. I don't know if you get to pick and choose, though. I mean, I guess if you go to a competition, you're doing whatever the competition is having you do, So if they're having you do a yoke press, which is one of the videos or one of the stories she puts up, you're going to do a yoke press, whether it's your strong category or not. So I'm assuming they all have a deadlift. That seems to be pretty standard. All right, so what did I say? Oh, yeah, we're going to go look at the scores for these. Hang on real fast. It's not really a good place to put these where you can still see them and they don't cut into my head. So here you go, Mazel Tov. So these are Anna's scores from the competition. As you can see, her place was 4th. She got a total point score of 41.5. As I said earlier, she did get the 9 reps, so she got 9 points. Her max deadlift was the 375, which got her the 13.5. Her brutal bag beatdown got her 8 points. I think that put her at 6th within the category. She was number 6, and she got, so it was 80 feet. I think it was meters. No, it was feet. It was feet. Never mind. Why would it be meters? We're in the U.S. and Texas, no less. No offense, Texas. But yeah, they had 75 seconds to do all 80 feet, and she did hers in 48.15. So she got 8 points for that, and then the four bag toss. I don't remember how much time they had for that one. I feel like it was like 60 or something like that. But she did all 4 of her bags. Yep, I got it. All 4 of her bags in 44.44. She's manifesting, you guys. It's manifestation. So that got her 11 points. Now, this put her in 4th place in that category. She was, like I said, 6th place here. This was 2nd. Well, technically tied for 1st, but probably more like 2nd in the max deadlift. I don't remember where she is here in the axle clean and press. I honestly don't remember. But as you can, well, you can't really see, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 women in the category who weren't even there, or they don't even have a score for the axle clean and press. I don't know if that means they failed completely to do it, or what. Like, did they just not get any presses, or what? I don't know what happened there. Maybe they just weren't present for it. I don't know. But there's 4 women who do not have a score at all. They've got no points. And then there's one of those women only has points for the max deadlift. That's it. She literally has 1 point for the entire thing. So I don't know what that was about. But okay, there was 14 people. That's why I keep saying 13, because I was like, she was only there for the max deadlift, so there's only like 13 people. Because of the 4 that don't have a score for the axle clean and press, 3 of them went on to do all the other categories. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if they couldn't lift. I don't know. Glitter from Glitter Files. That's gonna get confusing. Glitter from Glitter Files did say with the steeplechase, aka the brutal bag beatdown, that some of the women were slipping. That the floor was real slick, and so a few of them were like slipping while doing the steeplechase. So that's unfortunate, which I'm sure cost time and injuries. So hopefully that wasn't too bad. But so there are circumstances to some of these things. I mean, it's you're picking up extreme heavy weights and you're doing crazy things with them. So there's always the chance for injury. I mean, shit, you walk across your living room, there's a chance for injury, especially if you have animals. Cats. So as I keep saying, she took 4th. I do feel like her weight does give her an advantage that a lot of these women didn't have. But that being said, she still took 4th. There's 3 women who still outpaced her altogether. So there's that. Let's see. She got 41 points. Hang on. Yeah, she got 41.5 points. 3rd place. Okay, she almost had 3rd, guys. Because 3rd place had 42. So she was 5 points off from 3rd place. So she almost had 3rd. 2nd place had 44 points. And then Stephanie, the one who took 1st place, had 54. So that's a bit of a difference. That's a 10-point difference between 1st and 2nd place. So she was just like, I win. I came here to win. And I did. I hope she feels really good about herself, really. I really do. Whoever Stephanie is in the world. I hope she went home and she was like, yes, I've accomplished my life goal for the day. So, anyway. That was the Iron Podium. Well, okay, Iron Podium, I think, is the website. That was the Riveter 3. Anna took, as she did, things I want to talk about that are not, well, that happened at Iron Riveter. I am not going to talk about the chair picture. I don't care. Yes, Anna has a huge backside. Duh. Anyway, I don't really give a shit about the chair picture. I'm sure I know a lot of other people do. She's got a giant ass. What do you want? You needed a picture to tell you that? Anyway, one thing I do want to talk about, though, which is probably equally as embarrassing, or it should be equally as embarrassing, is a little clip that we are going to watch from the Glitter Files video. So, all right, this is from the Glitter Files. I attended the Riveter and watched Anna compete. Now, things you need to know about this clip. I'm not going to run it with the sound just because there's really nothing to hear. Things you need to know about this clip before it starts to play. At this moment in the video, the Glitter Files was sitting outside. Obviously, this is from the bag toss that we just got done watching. The Glitter Files was not watching Anna at this point. The Glitter Files was watching the other women compete. Anna wasn't even in the picture at all. So at this moment, Anna had, well, a few moments before this, actually, Anna had walked into frame and had laid down in the grass here and had been laying in the grass for a little while. I think she actually ran, she being the Glitter Files, I think they ran the video for as long as Anna lay there. I don't care. Anna was tired. She kicked her little feet, whatever. She stretched. She yawned. She yabbered. She looked like she took a little nap. She was probably tired. What I do care about, is everything that happened after that. Anna needs to get up for whatever reason. She gets up to come talk to these people over here. I don't know if she's talking to both of them or just this woman. Don't care what they're talking about. Probably about the horror show that they're about to watch, but here we go. Anyway. There are two things that I have to say about what you're about to watch. One of them is, for fuck's sake, Anna, wear underwear. Okay? Just for fuck's sake, Anna, wear underwear. The other thing that I want to talk about is actually like much more serious. And Lindsay brings it up in her video. Probably other people have brought it up as well. Your ability as a human to get up and down from the ground without assistance is a vital life, quality of life marker. It actually is kind of tied into like longevity as well. So if you're having a hard time at the age of 41, the ripe old age of 41, getting up and down from the ground, you need to work on your mobility. So there's lots of really great videos out there to watch. There's physical therapy if you can afford it. If you can't, like I said, there's lots of great YouTube videos you can watch at home. Yoga is a thing. Just maybe walking, stretching. If it hurts when you're stretching, stop doing it. But I'm not a doctor, so, you know, I'm just saying, if you look like this when you're getting up off the ground, you need to do something. And that's also a message to Anna. So prepare to be blown away. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Scoots. Shush. Shush. Here we go. Right. All right. So I think I backed it up just a little bit. This is Anna getting up off the ground. I cannot help what you're about to see, but I do, other than the obvious, I want you to pay attention to how she gets up off the ground. I'm not slowing it down. This is real time. I think I haven't sped it up. Let me double check that. Yeah, normal speed. Right. Nobody should be getting up off the ground like this, unless for some strange reason you're stretching. There are yoga positions like downward facing dog, or, you know, you're stretching your back. This is ridiculous. No one should be struggling like this to get off the ground who doesn't have like a permanent injury, right? I get you might be injured, okay? It happens. Shit happens. But like a 41-year-old woman who has had no physical injuries, no permanent physical injuries that we are aware of, who can't get up off the ground by just putting both of your knees underneath you and standing up. This is ridiculous. Also, wait. You know that these are crotchless. I mean, just watch. She pushes herself up. This is not the problem. She can't get both of her knees underneath her. She struggles with one knee. She has to have one leg straight. And then she's just like, yeah, that I'm a badass. I got up off the ground. Girl, can you even sit with your legs? Can you even sit with your legs crossed? I want to see you sit with your legs crossed. I want to see that. Can you cross your legs crisscross applesauce? I just, your mobility is frightening. I don't actually care that you can lift 375 pounds at this point. I care that your knees don't bend, that you can't do an unsupported squat. There's another video I want to show you back on it probably came off of Instagram, but I'm going to have to go back to the Reddit that she's recently posted. And it's another one of those how it started, how it's going bullshit posts that she does. But it's another one that kind of illustrates her lack of mobility, her alarming lack of mobility. Okay, yeah, this is off of her Instagram. So this is her how it started, how it's going thing. I can't honestly remember if this was done right when she started working with Cybernetic Strongman, because I remember there was some stupid fucking video about her doing an unsupported squat and she could barely do it. But this kind of goes back to my point. This video, if you recall, was a while ago, but she does this one knee squat thing where the whole video is she supports herself on the counters as she goes down on one knee, and her knee hits that ground so hard her whole body shakes. Like you can see the impact ripple up through her legs. So it's clear that she can't control her own descent down with just her hips and her own legs. Like she was using her arms, and you can still see here, she's using her arms and her upper body to stabilize herself. So she can't do a lunge unassisted, right? And so she says, this is how it starts, right? And so the next image is, you know, how it's going. Here's my thing. This is a Smith machine. I'm not knocking the Smith machine, but what I am going to point out is the Smith machine, the bar is actually attached to the machine. So here's the thing. She very easily could be using the machine for support to do this same motion. And as you can see, her hips are fucking wonky as shit. I don't know where the hell her feet are in this because I can't see the angle. But what I do know, because I use the Smith machine, is that the bar, it's really easy to hang on to that bar and to use that bar and the machine in general as support. You're not supposed to, but it's really easy to do because it's there. You can just grab onto it and you can hang on the damn thing. I mean, it's designed to hold weight. It can probably hold her weight. You know, it's very easy to do. But again, that's not the point of the machine. However, knowing how Anna does shit, how she half-asses shit, she probably thinks she's doing lunges by holding on to that machine and just using it to support her as she does an up-down motion. But she's actually hanging on the bar on the machine. And you can't convince me otherwise until I see her do it again. Because I've never actually really paid attention when she's doing the Smith machine, to be honest with you. And I probably should have paid more attention. And I'm going to from here on out, because I am willing to bet that her range of mobility here is actually pretty fucking limited. And if she didn't have a death fucking grip on this machine like she does right now, and wasn't using this machine as support for her lunges, I don't think she could do it. Which is just more evidence that her mobility is shot. And she's not doing things that she could be doing to help her mobility. And liposuction is not one of those things. You know, losing weight is. Actually losing the fat around her knees is. And I mean, doing lunges and stuff probably would help if she would do them correctly. She's done yoga in the past. It's not like that's new. Okay. So, well, she's lost weight in the past. It's not like that's new. But that's the other thing that I just wanted to harp on before we wrap up the video is just her declining mobility despite her increased strength, question mark, in her apparent activity. It's noticeable, and it's noticeably not getting better, right? I won't 100% say it's declining, but it's definitely not getting better. Not visibly, anyway. Now, of course, Anna will fight me on that and be like, you don't know. Yeah, bitch, I can see. I got eyeballs, and I can see the videos you post. Filtered or otherwise, I can see you in the videos. So there. All right. That is all I wanted to go over in this video. I know I am the last person to go over Anna's competition videos, and I'm sorry, but I did technically go over it in a live, so I'm not the last person. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, go ahead and put like a medal or a trophy down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think down below. What do you think about Anna and her weight class? That's probably the biggest conversation in here is just, you know, Anna competing in the weight class that she was in. We still don't know what she weighs, but we have eyes. And I don't know, let me know what you guys think about her mobility thing. Like, are you noticing any improvement in her mobility? I mean, you saw her doing the steeplechase. We've seen her run with that bag, and run is a very strong word. So her running has definitely not improved. Her shuffling has definitely not improved. Like, she doesn't move quickly. Even her quick movement is not quick. So there's that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. Don't forget your emoji is like a medal or a trophy. I know those exist.
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.